Hello my friends, welcome back to Plain and Chisel Woodworks. Today we are going to make a cabinet scraper for that'll hold this card scraper. The reason I'm doing this is I've been doing a lot of scraping I did about 4 or 5 hours of it Friday, and yesterday my hands were really sore. um, and I know if I would do this on a regular basis, I could probably end up with some kind of health effects that I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make basically a cabinet scraper. And I got the idea from Lee Nielsen's website. They have in their card scraping section, they show you how to make this kind of thing. Theirs is quite a bit smaller of a scraper, but we will give it a try. So what I have to start with is I have a piece of oak that is about 18 inches long. There it is. 18 inches long, and an array of tools. So the tools that I think we'll need, and I may need more different kinds, is something to measure with. I have a 1/2 inch and a 1 1/4 chisel. I have a burnisher for turning the edge, which I've already done on this one, but I'll show you how to do that, I guess, maybe. A couple screwdrivers. A bevel gauge. I have the bevel gauge set to about 8 degrees. My marking square. Always have marking squares, and or your combination square. Marking gauge, knife, pencils. I have a spoke shave for shaping the handle after I'm done, and the file because the screws I have are too long, and I know they're going to be too long. They're 1 1/2 inches. I'm fairly certain they're going to be too long by the time everything's done. It may be okay, but in case it is, I have a file for that, and then drills, and I have this for can't see that. I have this with a what's that called? The term is completely missing me. For setting the screw into the wood. Oh my gosh. Anyways, well, it'll come to me later, I'm sure. But anyways, that's basically the tools we'll have. I'm going to walk you through this as I make it. The first thing we need to do is, and this piece of wood is 9/16 by 9/16 by 13/16. I don't know where they got that measurements, but I took that directly off of that video. So we're gonna do that. But it is squared and marked for our reference edges. Next thing we need to do is we need to mark this 90 degrees or 8 degrees on the edge. So I'm going to take one of my reference edges, okay, I want to take it off the short side so it's a little bit wider. I might not putting this in the vise. Yeah, I'm kind of making this up as I go. I did watch the video, but I don't really like copying people. So I got his ideas, but I'm going to probably change things maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. but I'm using that as inspiration, not necessarily copying. Which this will be fairly close because the tool itself is really simple. But I'm not having an inlay for the bottom. And I really don't know which. Excuse me. I don't know which edge she used for which, if it was the wide side or the thin side, but I'm using the 13/16. Cut my angle there, and now I'm just gonna kind of trace a line down. Trying mechanical pencil too. Just to double check, I'm going to mark this again on this side. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plane that off. And by the way, all my cutting edges I freshly sharpened. Because like I say, every time you need to have everything has to be freshly sharpened. Okay, so what I did was I took that angle down there. Now I'm just trying to match it all the way across. All I did was cockeyed, tip my plane over just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do, by the way, I just use this just like I would my tri-square, just to get it just like I would normal. But I use this instead of my 90 degrees because it's not 90 degrees. Okay, so now we need to, oops, I forgot my saw too. We're going to cut this down to 9 inches. I could probably go a little bit bigger since my blade is a little bit bigger. It's maybe a little small. But we'll stick with this and see how it goes. So that's 9 inches. I'm just going to mark all the way around. And I was smart this time. I put the reference edges on both sides. So that way when I cut it in half, it will be I'll know which is my reference edges. Because normally if you just put it on one side, then when you cut it off, you have to kind of guess. But this time I was smart. All right. Now I didn't square up the edges of the board, so it's not that crucial that they're 90 degree, that it's a nice square cut. But I'm just gonna still try to do a square cut because every time you make a cut, it's a good practice for the other ones. So I'm just cutting right down the line. I let the tool jump out, so I got a little nick there, but that's okay. It won't affect anything. It's in the handle. All right, let's check this for square and see how well I did. Not too bad. It's not perfect, but yeah, it could definitely be better. But I don't know. It is what it's quick. This should be a quick tool. And then find your beveled edge, flip it around, and match them back up. Just check this real quick just to kind of see. It'll be close. It'll be close for the size of the screw. All right, so what I'm going to do is now I need to find, I'm going to put this in my vise right now because we're going to be marking out. I don't want anything to move. Hold on, I'm going to put this at a better angle for you, I hope. I'm going to bring it up on the desk so you can see right what I'm doing. So hold on. Okay, so I couldn't put it on the desk on the top of the bench, but this should work. So I'm just roughly flushing up the edges. This is a reference edge, so I'm going to use that. The other one's on the other side. So I'm going to find the center, roughly. All right. Just do-do-do-do-do. Four and a half is the half of 9, by the way. It's not exactly 9, but it'll be close enough. This is just a shop tool, something to save your hands from getting hurt. So now I'm going to take this and lay it in there about center. Make a nick. Oh, by the way, this is beveled like this. So this is going to be the front, and this is the back. So I'm just centering it in by eye. It's not perfect. I'm going to do a mark there, right along the edge. And Bring it in a little bit on the front. I don't know, 1/4 inch or so. Not sure if I like mechanical pencils. These will make sense in a little bit, in a second. I guess I don't have to do that. Okay, and then I need to mark where the screw is going to go, so I'm kind of divide the ends down a little bit. So I'm just picking about halfway. Okay, so now we have our marks. So I'm going to do the back first. I'm going to transfer that with a knife. The two inside marks, not the screw lines. We'll do that in a second. So I'm just making a nick. This is going to be a really shallow groove. So all I'm doing here is making a nick right on the corner. I'm going to transfer this around to the other side. Actually, I can square this right down this line. What we're doing here is we're setting it so we're setting the so the plate can set and recessing this until the plate sets in there. The reason I chose oak, by the way, is it's hardwood and it should hold up to abuse. Now what I did for this is I set this marking gauge right to that edge. Actually, the pin sits right there as far back as it goes, which is almost the thickness that I want. So I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. So just a touch deeper so it fits. You can see that it's just right at the pin line. You actually want this a little bit proud, so I may have to plane this back just a touch. Okay, so now I'm just going to run the pin line right along that, right down that line, just to give myself kind of a guide. Yeah, I probably should have made these handles bigger. Yeah, there's always next time. Okay, so that is such a shallow cut. I'm just going to take my chisel here and cut down to that line. The knife line is almost deep enough just by itself. Alright, so now I'm just going to pare back just like I do every other dado, pointing the chisel up so it goes away. I may end up using a hammer because my hands hurt from Friday. And then we're just going to work it back. I don't want to go any deeper. If I can help it. May not have been the greatest wood for this either. It's wanting to shoot down, so I'm going to keep going from this direction so that I cut the fibers before they go dive down. Okay, so that's this side. And turn it around and do this side. Just like before. So I'm going right into that knife line, popping it up. Hitting my vise. each line, I guess I should say. I'm just registering the back against on that edge and just trying to keep it as smooth as possible. Okay. See how that fits in there? Take this side down just a touch more. So I'm doing this all with my 1/2-inch chisel. Setting it in there. And it's just proud. Which is just about perfect. So, because I want it to be proud enough that when I tighten down the screw, it cinches itself tight. So you don't want it flush. But it's in there deep enough to catch. Okay, so that's that part. Okay, this one we want to make a mouth on. So that's what these 2 lines are. And this isn't very, I mean, none of this stuff is precise. It's just a holder for the scraper. And the reason this has to be shorter is because we need something that it grips the plate with, but you want a throat for the plane to sit in. So I'm just marking these 2 lines down here. And then I'm going to bring this, let's see, I don't know, small distance from the front. Out there, so about a 1/4 inch. Let's see what the actual size is. Yeah, 1/4 inch. So mark this all the way across the top. Using my reference edge, I should do. Okay. So here's that line. This is for the chips and the shavings to come out. This time, I want to make stop cuts. So I'm going to take my saw, cut on the waist side of that line. I want to try to stay off the bottom. And I don't want to go back to that line too far. So, and then, so I want it, just cut a line from this side, from this dark here, down to this corner here. And I'm going to do that all the way along the edge. So, and then I'll come back after I get these all cut because it's going to take me a little bit of time. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I just have a series of cuts right down there. I'll turn this away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop out that waist. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use my hammer. My hand is really sore, so did a good job hurting. So now, I'm going to stay away from that other edge, and I'll come back to that. I'm just guessing at the angle. I'm trying to keep it consistent all the way across. Okay, close. You can spend all the time you want, get all the saw marks off, but this is a piece of shop tools, so I don't like spending a lot of time on tool work. Again, chop out the most of the waste. Then sneak up on this edge. Yeah, you can see why people use maple for this. But it'll work. You know, the thing is, I had a piece of maple over there. I was thinking about using it, but I was like, oak is a little harder than the soft maple I had. But it'll be fine. Alright, so that's basically done. I am going to take the file to this. Just to smooth this out a little bit. There, so that's that. They're going to go together. If I had it the right orientation. Just like that. Okay, see this? This is a lot bigger over here because I went to the wrong line. So I'm going to just fix that right now. I needed to go to this line here. This line here, which is no problem. Take 2 seconds. This time. Okay, so we almost have a tool ready to be used. I'm going to line up the screw holes. Clamp them into my vise. And I'm going to drill. This is the smaller of the two screws, the two drills bits. This one will go all the way through. My bit's not quite long enough. Take this out, continue on. That one's kind of close to the front, but the top of it should be okay. So I was a little off center with this. But yeah, it'll be okay, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take the back. And I'm going to screw it all the way through with a wider screw, wider bit. And then I'm going to countersink bit, that's what they're called there. Yeah. This isn't the greatest bit. I think it came from a box set of Harbor Freight tools. Okay, well, let's put this thing together, make sure everything fits okay. All right, clear some space. A little bit of wax, or just quite a bit of wax, will help these screws go in better. I'm actually going to go just a little bit bigger on these back screws. I want that to just slide in there. So I'll be right back. I'm going to screw these out and I'll be right back when we'll screw these in. Okay, so I drilled these out because I want this screw just to be just to slide into the back part there. Okay, so and I also drilled out the back ones just a little bit more because this is oak and oak has a tendency to split. Nice. I slipped a little bit. They use double-sided tape in the video, so I probably should have done that instead of just putting it in the vise. Good. Holds this pretty nicely. So I'm going to take this out, and then we're going to plane it down smooth. And do our final shaping. Okay, now the top's flat. Do the same thing on the bottom. Want to watch that? Oh, that's on the other side. Okay. Okay, so we're 90% there. First thing I want to do is check the opening of the mouth and see if we plane that off, so that opening opened up quite a bit. You can see that. So I'm not going to do anything with that. Plenty of room for the shavings to go. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to kind of round this over a little bit. Good. Grab a sandpaper. I'm going to do the same kind of thing on the front here. Mainly for just a little comfort. So I'm just going to take the edge off and I'm going to put that screw down, that screw head down below the bench vite, so I don't take that off. So I don't hit it with my plane. So the screw head's below the leather there. And then I'm just going to chamfer the end grain a little bit. Ah, that is loud. This here isn't a very nice cut, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off there. Not even very uniform, but that's okay. A little bit of tear out right there. That's kind of a sharp edge. So I'm just going to I don't want to hit my plane with that screw head, so. Okay, let's see if this works. I probably have to put another bevel, another edge on it, but we'll try right this second. I just put it on the bench here to get it so it's all right. Let's see if we can get some shavings. It's going to take a little bit of adjusting. Alright, so instead of wasting time here, I'm going to fiddle around with this and see if I can't get it to work. But essentially that's the idea that I was going with. So I'm going to play around with this and see if I can't get it working. Alright, so I will be right back. Okay, so all I had to really do was sharpen it. And I set the blade a little bit deeper also than before. Let's see. I am getting shavings out. So and I think this will save my hand quite a lot. So, we have a functioning tool. It's rough, probably could use some refining, but it does work. So, that's kind of fun. Alright, so anyways, this will be the end of the video. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe and follow along for other things that I make. So hopefully this helps you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.